Welcome to Study Loop.
This is the answer to Chapter 22, problem number 12 from the Smith Organic Chemistry textbook. And this problem is asking us to predict the products of four different reactions, each one starting from benzoyl chloride, which I've drawn the structure of benzoyl chloride at the top of the screen here. And so benzoyl chloride, is an acyl chloride. And remember that acyl chlorides are typically going to react by a nucleophile attacking the electrophilic carbonyl carbon, and then the carbonyl double bond reforming, and the chloride will be kicked out. And so most of these reactions of acyl chlorides are functionally just addition of a nucleophile to the carbonyl bond and loss of the chloride. But remember, the mechanism is going to be the nucleophile attacks the carbonyl carbon, a tetrahedral intermediate forms, and then the carbon oxygen double bond reforms, and the chloride, being the better leaving group, is what leaves. So with that in mind, for A, water is our nucleophile. So we end with the carboxylic acid, and this pyridine salt. And the pyridine is important because it does provide a counter ion for this chloride anion that's formed. And that's the role of the pyridine here. And then so for B, the mechanism is going to be that this acetate ion is going to be what attacks the carbonyl carbon. And so we end up forming this anhydride and chloride ion. For C, ammonia is going to be our nucleophile, and we're using excess ammonia. And that excess is important because one equivalent of the ammonia is going to act as the nucleophile. So we end with NH2 in place of the chlorine. And then the excess ammonia is going to function again as a counter ion for the chloride ion. So we form some salt, and so we neutralize the chloride ion in this solution. And then for D, D is pretty much exactly the same as C, but rather than ammonia, we're using dimethylamine. And so instead of NH2, we're going to end with the dimethylamine equivalent. And again, we're using excess so that it can act as a counter ion for the chloride ion that's produced in the reaction. And remember, this is pretty standard acyl chloride reactivity. Most acyl chlorides, most of the time, are going to react this way. So your nucleophile is just going to replace the chlorine, and you'll produce chloride ion as well. And so that's the answer to Chapter 22, problem number